Another edition of Double RT Boxing with Mr. A. Me, ready, talk boxing. What we're talking is a unification bout in the bantamweight division between the IBF champion Ryan Burnett making his first title defense against the WBA Super World bantamweight champion making his first defense, Zhakiyanov, known as ZZ for the easy pronunciation. Now, admire that two brand new champions, first title defenses, going for a unification bout. I didn't hear much talking about this fight. So Ryan Burnett, who won, who is now a two belt division champion, two sanctioned body belt carrier. He's a unified champion. He goes to 18-0 with 9 knockouts, and ZZ I believe goes like 22-2. Can he bounce back and still become a champion? Absolutely, very easy. Now, in the breakdown prediction video, I predicted Ryan Burnett was going to win by a lopsided decision, 8-4, 9-3, and I had it 118-110 for Ryan Burnett. I only gave rounds 4 and 6 to ZZ. Now, when I say 8-4, a lopsided, even though I ended up giving it 9-2. It was a very, I gave it 10-2. It was a very lopsided victory, but it wasn't a dominating victory. It was very competitive, every round very competitive. It just, when you add round by round, it becomes a competitive whitewash. Like I said, from the get-go, this fight was a fight of two halves, and the second half told what was happening during the first half. Even Andre Ward was saying during the commentary, because the whole HBO commentary team was making it, they're like, this is a hard fight to judge. Because the first 6 rounds was nothing but forehead to forehead phone booth fight, and ZZ was applying the pressure that everyone was saying, can the young Ryan handle this? Was this too soon? And Ryan's I'll show you I can handle it, because we all know Ryan Burnett used to doing the booth style, herking and jerking, the Josh Pretty Boy Kelly style, doing it. But he didn't have time to do a jab, or even attempt a jab. Actually, I should say he had time. He just didn't attempt it. He just was overwhelmed by ZZ's pressure, forehead to forehead, arm locking, just punching. Ooh, let's arm lock this one. Let's punch this one. Ooh, arm lock. So they were like chest to chest, shoulder to shoulder, like pushing each other. No one wanted to give. Then we just start punching. And like I said, there was nowhere. I'm breaking down this first 7 rounds. Nowhere in those first 7 rounds did anyone, or the whole fight I should say, but no one landed a shot that, as they say, water cooler. Do you remember this punch? Do you remember that punch? Oh, remember that punch that shook his legs? That changed no punch changed around. No punch was a highlight punch of the fight. It was just an ugly not sloppy, but it was an ugly fight to score inside a corner of a phone booth. That's how it was tight. They each landed jabs, they each landed body shots, but if ZZ landed 2, Ryan landed 5. You know what I mean? It was that type of, he just landed more and cleaner stuff. Now, where it started to change was around round 7, because in round 6 I gave it to ZZ. I think Burnett was a little tired. He lost the round, and he lost the round in the last like 22 seconds. It was a back and forth round. In the last 22 seconds, ZZ just threw some hooks on him and got him. Like that. I think Booth must have got him in the corner, like, hey, you get some movement, do something, because in this round 7 is when the fight really started to change. Like I said, the pressure of ZZ slowed down a little bit. Just a little bit, about a step. or a half a step. And that half a step allowed Ryan Burnett to mentally find himself, mentally find Ryan Burnett. Because before, he was just being a boxer, being a champion. He didn't have time to do all this. But in that half a step slowdown by ZZ under pressure, that's when Ryan, for the first time in the fight, started dropping his hands, started doing it. Even if it was only for like a good 3 seconds, mentally, he became Ryan Burnett. Jab, boom, you know, for the first time, he's actually throwing a jab off. He was comfortable. Jab. Then they go back to holding and fighting. Then here, once in a while, he'll do it again, show some movement, jab, hooks, and then from 8, that half a step became a full step slower. And then by by the 9th round, that's when he was really starting to boom, boom, you know, smiling at ZZ like, yeah, I'm getting you, you know. And after for like 10th and 11th, it was just that half a step became a step and a quarter, a step and a half slower. And that's when he would just start binging, and that's what happened. You know, in the corner, Ricky Hatton was like, "Oh, he's too talented for you. We can't beat him on talent for talent. So how do we beat him? We take his talent away. Just pressure." And he was applying pressure. It just through all that body attack, you finally started to see, like I said, in round 7, 8, and 9, especially in round 9, that's really the championship rounds. You saw the effects of all the previous 8 rounds of body work that Ryan Burnett was doing. It slowed ZZ down just enough to let Ryan Burnett become Ryan Burnett for a couple seconds. Pow, move, and that's all it was. It was a great poised performance by Ryan Burnett. As the fight was going on, you saw Booth leaning on the apron. You never saw Booth's face shouting instructions with concern. It was always shouting instructions on like, okay, you're doing it. Booth was looking on the corner like, nodding his head like, okay, yeah. So Booth was very, from what I could see, like I said, I didn't hear too much instructions in the corner, but from what I can see, just on the live action of the fight, Booth was very happy with what Burnett was doing. I'm pretty sure as a trainer, he was finding something, but overall he seemed satisfied with Burnett, because the fight was an ugly, gruesome fight. You know, no trainer wants their boxer in this type of fight. It's just too much hitting going on. You want the space. You want your boxer to hit and score some points. But hey, sometimes a champion got to be a champion. And that night, Ryan Burnett was a 2-belt champion. He's a unified champion. Now the IBF, the WBA Super World Bantamweight champion. Where can he go from here? Probably if I was him, I don't know if I was jumping to another unification. If it presents itself, I will maybe get a fan base. He's already a very popular fan. Take a softball, not necessarily a gimme fight, but something to fill in the seats for your fans, build up your money making name, and then, because this is a voluntary, then you go to your mandatory, unless you get a unification. But I would take this voluntary to build my name up with my fans, ease my body, because that was a beating for both fighters. That was a really good beating for the ribs. I know their ribs are hurting, but like I said, this first half of the fight was a corner of a phone booth fight, and in the second half, like especially around 8, you saw all the previous body work for Ryan Burnett pay dividends. ZZ slowed down just enough, and he was able to score the points. I had it again, 118, 110, 10 rounds to 2 for Ryan Burnett. You guys leave in the comment below, what do you think of the fight? Do you think it was a 10 rounds to 2 is too much? Do you think it should deserve more? This is Mr. A saying thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you all for who are subscribing, letting the channel grow. You know, I appreciate it. I do. I really, really do. because one day this channel is gonna be on TV interviewing people. Thank you for your support, guys. And ladies, thank you so much.